If you have the goal of making content, building your personal brand, turning that into an online business and getting rich, this might be the single most important video you ever watch. And I'm not just saying that to be hyperbolic. I've worked with literally thousands of content creators, and this one thing is by far the biggest oversight that I see almost all of them making that is stopping them from achieving that goal of getting rich. And that problem is that they're focused entirely on the vehicle without focusing on the engine. See, most creators have the goal of getting rich. That's why they do what they do. They make content online because they have a particular skill set. They think they're particularly good at that thing. They see an opportunity to help other people with that thing. And so they make content online with the intention of getting rich. But the issue happens when they're more focused on how they're going to get rich than why they're going to be able to get rich in the first place. They see someone like me selling an online cohort, and so they think selling a cohort is the key to getting rich. They see Alex Hormozi promoting school, and so they think selling a school community is the way that you get rich, or selling courses is the way that you get rich, or doing coaching is the way that you get rich, without realizing that for all these people who actually make these vehicles work, who actually get rich as a result of these vehicles, have an entire engine behind the scenes that pointed them in that direction in the first place. See, the key to being successful in this business isn't the vehicle you choose. It's not whether you sell a course or a membership or a coaching offer or what your LTV is or how many clients you retain on any given month. None of that matters. What actually matters is the engine. It's the why. It's the thing you're actually helping people achieve. It's the reason your business exists. Because at the end of the day, there is one sentence that should form the backbone of your entire understanding of the info product and online business space. And honestly, if you just take this sentence, write it on a post-it note, put it on your monitor, and then leave this video, you'll achieve 90% of the results that I'm trying to help you achieve, which is probably a terrible thing to say for my retention rate, but I don't give a fuck because I'm trying to help you actually get something out of this video, not just keep your attention for 20 minutes. And that one line is that you are paid in direct proportion to your ability to create results. Therefore, to get what you want out of life, help other people get what they want out of life. This game is all about creating results for other people. That is it. Your ability to create results will determine your business's ability to make money. If you aren't good at helping other people achieve a result, you might make money in the short term. You might catch the uptrend of Alex Hormozi pumping up every school community in the world, but eventually when that subsides, you will be left holding the bag. You will be left with a business that doesn't actually help anyone achieve anything. If you want real longevity in this space, if you want to make real money, you need to focus on building a product, building a business that actually helps people achieve a result, so you can then choose a vehicle that will best help you get there. The perfect analogy for this, or not the perfect analogy, it was just the only one I could come up with because I love motorsport and cars, so you'll have to forgive me, but the perfect analogy for this is building a race car. If you were trying to build a race car and you had the chassis and you had the engine, which do you think is going to be more effective for lap time? The chassis that provides the aerodynamics and the downforce and everything else that's going to make the car go fast or run smooth, or the engine? The thing that's actually going to provide horsepower that puts to use the chassis and the purpose. Most creators who are so fixated on the vehicle that's going to get them there are worried about the chassis and not the engine. They are basically building a race car by taking a 2-cylinder Toyota engine and putting a Formula One chassis on it. They're trying to build a course without even understanding what the fuck they're trying to help people achieve. And so when people come to their business, they don't achieve a result, they have a negative experience, and that word of mouth travels. If you build a business that doesn't actually help people achieve a result, you will not get any repeat business. No one will continue to do business with you because you're not actually providing the thing that you said your product was going to do on the fucking tin. If you can build a big, roaring 6-liter V8 engine and then put an okay chassis on it, that will go a hell of a lot faster than a 2-cylinder Toyota with a Formula One car chassis. It doesn't matter how much downforce, how good your chassis is, how good your tires are, if your engine is dog shit. Now, there are two things that you need to build the engine for your business. The first is your avatar. Now, this is going to be slightly different to the avatar that you have for your content. It's going to be a more specific version of the person that you're already targeting with the content you make. See, I make content for a younger version of me, which means that sometimes I make content for my 18-year-old version of me who just needed a little bit of guidance and motivation and someone to pat him on the back and tell him he's doing a good job and he just needs to keep going. And then I also make content for my 25, 26, 27, even 28-year-old version of me a couple months ago who needs specific help with specific things. To sell something to myself when I was 18, it has to be cheap because I had no fucking money. It has to be pretty broad because I had no idea what the fuck I was going to do with my life. And it has to be pretty basic because I was a complete beginner. Whereas to sell something to me now, it needs to be highly specific and extremely expensive. I've been looking for coaches recently, and rather than going to an existing coaching program, I've just been reaching out to entrepreneurs that I respect and asking them how much money it would cost to get on the phone with them once a week. I don't need generic advice. I need specific advice from people who have specific experience with the thing that I'm struggling with. And so if I tried to sell a product to every version of me, from 18-year-old me to 28-year-old me, there is not a single product that exists in terms of an info product that would help both of us equally. And so you need to pick the specific version of your content's avatar that you're going to sell this product to. The other side of this is that you should be building a business that isn't for everyone. If you create a good product, it will not serve everyone, and that's okay. It is a hard thing for me to stomach, honestly. Sometimes I meet some of you in public and maybe you're more on the beginner end. And some of you ask me how you can do business with me. Some of you ask me how you can join Time to Build. It's too expensive and you can't really afford it right now, but is there any way you can get involved? And I have to tell you, and it's heartbreaking, that there is no way for you to do business with me yet. But that's okay because I'm creating a product and providing a service to a very specific version of my avatar so I can help them achieve the best possible result I can. And then the rest of my content, like the video you're watching right now, is for everyone else who my product isn't for. I'm trying to help you as best I can because I know that my content in my business is not for everyone. And that gives me the confidence when I'm making content like this to give you everything. I'm just trying to genuinely help you achieve a result. And so when you're thinking about your avatar for your business, be as specific as humanly possible. Get down to the experience level, the lifestyle, everything that you can possibly know about them. Be as specific as possible. The easiest way that I've found to do this is if you, like me, target a younger version of you with your business, what year are you targeting? For me in my business and Time to Build, we're targeting 2022 to 2024, Tom. And as long as we stick within that time frame and everything that we make, all the tools, systems, frameworks we teach are targeting that specific person, we're going to help them achieve the result we're trying to help them achieve. So that is step one. Step two is you need to come up with what I call your BSP. This is your big, sexy promise. This is your business's entire reason for being. This is the promise that's going to get them over the line. This is your front of house. This is the sign that you have at the front of your shop in order to get people in the door. Now, there are a few key things with this. It needs to be time-bound, it needs to be ultra specific, and it needs to be highly desirable. And so it's not enough to tell someone, I'm going to help you be more confident. How are you going to help them be more confident? In what time frame? What's the output? What's the outcome in order to judge how much more confident they've become? It's not enough to tell someone you're going to help them get fit. You need to help them achieve a specific thing. Now, a good example that I could give you here for someone like me is the outcome of an Ironman triathlon. It would not be enough for someone to come to me and say, Tom, I'm going to help you cross the finish line of an Ironman triathlon. One, because I've already done one, but two, because it's not enticing enough. It's not big enough. It's not sexy enough. Whereas if someone came to me and said, Tom, I'm going to help you take 60 minutes off your Ironman time in the next 36 weeks by training no more than 14 hours a week, I would say, fuck me, where do I sign up? And that's because it's big, it's sexy, it's specific, it's time-bound, and it's highly desirable. And so once you have your big, sexy promise, the thing that you're going to get people in the door with, you then need to outline exactly how you're going to take your avatar from where they are now to where you're trying to get them to, your BSP. Once you've done that, you're going to map out the steps required in order to achieve it. In as much detail as humanly possible, map out every single step that you would need to take someone through in order to take them from where your avatar is now to your BSP, your big sexy promise. How are you going to help them achieve that result in as short a time frame as humanly possible? But whatever that time frame is for you, you need to balance how big and sexy that promise is with the time frame in order to achieve it. Because if this time frame is too long, the sexiness decreases. And so you may actually need to decrease how big your promise is in order to decrease the time frame in order to achieve it. Because if you can get these two things right, if you can promise something massive in a short amount of time, you can charge an ungodly amount of money for it. And so, yes, I want to help my students build 7-figure businesses. But I currently, in terms of my business, promise a $250,000 business because I'm pretty confident that if someone who's right for my business, who submits an application and we approve them and they come into my program, I'm pretty confident that I can help them in the first year cross $250,000. Now, do I think I can help them cross 7 figures in the next 2 to 3 years? Yeah, I reckon, but 2 to 3 years is a little bit too far down the line for some people to consider it a big, sexy promise. And so my big, sexy promise is helping you scale your personal brand to $250,000 a year, selling a scalable digital offer. And once you've done this and you've planned out step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, step 5, and step 6 in order to help someone achieve the outcome you're trying to achieve, this is now your engine for your business. This is now the thing that you're going to walk people through in order to help them achieve a result. And only now can you start to think about the vehicle. Once you do this, you now have a clear idea of exactly how you're going to help someone achieve the result you want to achieve. And that will give you clarity on what vehicle is going to be best in order to sell it. If you were to sell that Ironman coaching program I mentioned, where it's 60 minutes off your Ironman time in 36 weeks, training no more than 14 hours a week, well, you probably can't package that into a done-yourself course. It's probably going to need to be some kind of hybrid group coaching offer where you're working one-to-one or one-to-many with a group of students all trying to achieve that same goal at the same time. You're also probably not going to be able to run it cohort-based because at any one time, someone could be training for an Ironman that's 3 weeks out, someone could be training for an Ironman that's 12 weeks out, or someone could be training for an Ironman that's 6 months out. And so you need to be able to accept clients at any stage of their Ironman because at any point, 36 weeks out could mean different things for different people at different stages of their journey. And so suddenly, the only option is some kind of group coaching membership. You've figured out your engine, and so you can pick an appropriate vehicle that's going to help your students actually achieve the result you're intending on helping them achieve. If you do this and you figure it out for yourself, it's no longer going to be this difficult choice around should you sell coaching or should you sell a cohort or should you sell a membership. It's going to be blatantly obvious because your offer, what you're actually trying to help people achieve, will usually be better suited for one or the other. It'll be better suited for something like a cohort where you have a group of students come in, you help them take a lot of action, and then you sustain them over a long period of time. For Time to Build, I realized that for students wanting to achieve what we want to help them achieve, they need to take a lot of action in a very short 6-week period so we can then offer extraordinarily cheap support on the back end because all they really need once they've implemented all the systems that we teach is just ongoing support and accountability for them to keep doing the things that we teach. And so for whatever you're doing, figure this out first. Figure out what the engine is that's then going to help you choose the appropriate vehicle in order to achieve the result. There are so many people in this space who, instead of coming into this with the intention of actually helping people achieve something, they see this as just another lucrative opportunity, an opportunity to make money. And so they sell the programs they sell, they create the things they create, because it's a route for them to achieve a result. It's a route for them to take. Whereas if you can be one of these rare people who's actually trying to give, actually trying to help people achieve a result, you will make so much money you won't know what to do with it. And so build a business that actually provides a result for other people, and you'd be shocked at how well you do. I hope this video helps, and I'll see you in the next one.